Happy Feral Monday from my hair. I will say that part of this is going to be an ad, but when it's an ad, it will always say ad. This right here is not an ad, and what is going, I must say how many times I can say ad. No, listen, it's something that I use all the time, but they want me to post about it. This part isn't an ad, I didn't even have to show it now. I could have just snuck it in, but I mean, you've seen this once or twice, but we'll get to that later. Also, this is going to be gorgeous with blue. I'm so excited. I don't know if y'all know this, but I really love makeup. We're going to start with clean canvas. This is just the lid. I had to open up a new one. This is the shade Fair. And I'm using Fair today because I want my shadows to be pretty vivid, pretty true to the color that they are. If I was to use a base that was darker, that would kind of alter the color and it wouldn't be as vivid and as true. That's something that I always like to keep in mind. And even if we were to use a base that didn't have a lot of color to it, my undertone would peek through and it would even change the color of the eyeshadow. It's little things like this. I wish somebody would have told me. Ooh, that's nice and smooth. So remember how I mentioned we were going to use these in a different way. These are from About Face. I'm already a mess. But these are from About Face, and these are liquid shadows. Now, on their own, on my eye, this would completely dry down. But this is when I talk about mixing formulas. Sometimes, if we're not sure how to mix them, this could be absolute mayhem, but that's what I'm here for. So I'm going to take this, which on its own would completely dry down. But since we have the clean canvas there, I'm going to put a little bit here, and I'm going to put a little bit here. And I'm actually going to grab an E27. We need a smaller brush for this. And since we have that eyeshadow base, it's going to mix in. Yep, that's exactly what I want. And it's not going to dry down until we set it. I want to use this for depth. And remember, it's Feral Monday, so I'm going to use a bunch of depth. So it's still not going to dry down. It's mixing with clean canvas, and that's just going to make it stay tacky. But that's what we want. Let's start with this. And I'm just tapping. It might look like I'm pulling, but I'm not. Tapping with the side of the brush. I'm still gonna put eyeshadow on top of that. It's a fun day for me. I look forward to Feral Mondays. Some there. And again, I'm using the E27. The smaller the brush, the more control we have. And it is going to lighten. That's going to be completely normal because again, we have that base underneath. Now I'm just taking the side of the brush and I'm going to transition. I have no powder on my eyes yet, no eyeshadow, just that one liquid shadow. And I'm just going to transition. Do you hear the snores? I know you hear the snores. If you're new here, welcome. And we're so happy to have you. And when I say we, I'm talking about a 16-pound, once completely feral, extra large, chubby-cheeked, delicious orange cat. That is what's snoring. Now you might hear little snores, and that is my little Douglas. He's my little doggy. But those mega snores, that is a cat. Now, we're not gonna get the depth that I'm looking for. And on the eye, this is not gonna be a true navy, but I'm gonna teach you, okay? I'm gonna teach you how to get a true navy. We're gonna start with this color, and it's so pigmented and so beautiful, and it's so wonderful. But it's still not a true navy, but I do need it for depth. We're gonna start building on this. And if you're thinking, why didn't you just add more of the other color? Well, there's a reason. When you layer textures on top of textures and you layer them slowly, you get beautiful finishes. If you've ever watched some of the makeup artists on IG, they really know how to layer these mediums. And by mediums, I mean the eyeshadows on top of the creams, with creams back on top of the shadows. It really is a magical thing. And it's once you kind of figure out, but I get ahead of myself and I will just say, layering different textures, you really will see a difference. Not only that, when you layer like this and you work up and build up these products, they actually last longer. That's another bonus. But for me, it's just about texture and dimension. I know I say the word dimension a lot, and think of dimension just like you do 3D. It just kind of jumps out and you see it there. It's not just flat on the eye. It has dimension. I'm telling y'all, I'm palette hopping today. I cannot be tamed. I actually haven't used this, and we need to use this. I'm just looking at it in my mirror over here. That's nice. This is the exact color I had in mind. I'm gonna grab it on an E28. I'm gonna grab 2 little taps of it. There it is. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start to transition. Oh, he's pigmented. Melt the colors together. I'm actually gonna go across here. Ooh, I'm loving it. You might not see a big difference, but I'm really trying to work my way up. I only grabbed 1 tap this time. I would rather build than have to start over. Now, don't think I've forgotten about the navy. I'm gonna teach y'all that in just a second, but I'm just finishing up blending here. And you know, this is really important too. We don't talk about it. When I'm starting to transition that color, I don't start up here. I'm starting a little bit in that first shade we laid down. What that does is if we accidentally do have too much on the brush, it kind of buffers that. It kind of hides it. So I'm tapping in one more time. There's that product. So this is where I'm pressing first. You can see that. And then I start to transition. It's so important where we pick up the product, even where we start to place it again on the eye. These are things that I just wish I would have known sooner. See, even with here, I'm not gonna go here, I'm gonna go there. And so what we're gonna need to learn is that with navy, jewel tones, think a deep red, think deep purple, think deep sapphire, navy. With those types of colors, think about what the base, I'm so sorry. Think about what the actual base color, and the base color is the color that forms this color, the color that forms the navy, and that color is black. So when you want to shift your shadow and create another shadow with these kind of deeper tones, if I wanted to create a deeper ruby, I would add black to that. If I wanted to create a deeper purple, I would add black to that. I would add black to the color that we're about to use. So think of that. Whenever you're in jewel tones and you want to add some depth, grab black eyeshadow. So I'm going to do 1 tap of black eyeshadow, any black eyeshadow. I just have 1 little tap there. And I'm going to start closest to the lash line. You can't go wrong there. And we're going to start to layer this. Ooh, there's some navy. We're going to start to layer this on the deepest part of the socket, so right here. If you can't shut one eye at a time, you can try turning this way. You can look down, or you can look down this way. I'm gonna pick up 1 more tap. And I'm just gonna keep tapping it out. I also want to say this is a really good way to fix any kind of jewel tone that might be becoming patchy. Jewel tones, because they do have that black base and because you're mixing such delicate pigments, purple's a really good example. Purple can become patchy. I don't care if it's a $80 purple eyeshadow or an $8 purple eyeshadow. It's a very delicate pigment. and sometimes it wants to become patchy. So you can fix that with the smallest, I have to whisper because that's how small it needs to be. With the smallest amount of black eyeshadow, you can fix your darker jewel toned eyeshadows. I'm also putting some of that black eyeshadow on the inner corner here. See how nicely that fits there? And you're kind of seeing me move that because my eye definitely creases there naturally. So I want to really press that eyeshadow into that crease. Ooh, that's a nice navy. I'm having fun. Now I need a little bit of this just to make sure the center is extremely bright. I'm going to add that ColourPop color on top, but this is just going to ensure that it's extra bright. These are absolutely wonderful. I believe they're only $6. There's the link. The shade I'm using is called Sky. Just double checking, yes. These are so wonderful. I love City Color. I have been such a fan of the brand for so long now. 10 out of 10. And those are just so much fun. They add so much spice to your look. I'm gonna go ahead and add it right now. But then it's not a lot of effort, and even if you're just starting on your makeup journey, these are really fun. And they're not scary. It might look scary, but it's not at all. I'm excited for this look. I feel like that blue is glowing right through here. That's so pretty. Okay, so what we're needing to do here, this might be the scary part, but this is why I walk you through everything. I don't just go, look how cute this is. Oh my God, I love it. And then tune out and it's already blended. So what I'm doing is I'm wiping off any serious, we can still have some there on the brush, that's fine. But I'm just wiping off any serious excess. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and just tap it over into the blue. See that? Easy peasy. We still have to add eyeshadow, it's gonna blend, but you can already see that it's blended. It's just about knowing how much you need on your brush for each step. And right now, we need hardly any to melt this together. Just a little whisper. There we go, tap that over there. There you go. Now, this is the part where we might need to put on our makeup seatbelts because we're gonna add this color on top. And I might need to lighten it a little bit more, but guess what? I'm gonna teach you how to do that. Now, with all the blinking and the hissing, this is probably creased a little, which is completely normal. But now, we have quite a bit of that shadow here, so we're gonna press that in. Ooh, no, that's pretty. I might lighten just the very center of it. Ooh. Gosh, that's so pretty. Honestly, it looks like a butterfly wing. It looks so soft, just like a butterfly wing. Wow. This palette right here, it is a very spicy price, but it's the best quality and I use it so often and I know it's so intimidating. And I remember when I did purchase it, I felt I wanted it because it did challenge me, but then I found out that it's actually so helpful and I started a whole series around it. I'm not just saying that you need to go get this palette. It's wonderful. It is my favorite. But a lot of us do have these colors somewhere already, and that's really what that series is. If you want to kind of have fun with color and you don't have these colors, I would tell you to get this palette. But if you already have them, just kind of practice. It's so much fun. So I want to just brighten up the blue a little bit. So I have white eyeshadow on the brush, and I'm just going to press it in the center, and it's just going to continue to kind of add that dimension. And then I'm going to take white eyeshadow and I'm going to press it on my brow bone. Just a small amount. I'm not trying to make it intense, but it is just going to further blend everything together. One tap of the white. And melt everything together. So this popped up on my Instagram feed and I said immediately yes. Also, it kind of inspired this look because, listen, this blue right here, I did swatch it. This was a blue that Marc Jacobs had and Marc Jacobs discontinued it. Marc Jacobs discontinued the whole makeup line. So sad. But I am so excited to have this blue again. It almost looks white. As you can see, this blue is going to pull it more blue. Oh, it was my favorite. And now Estee Lauder has it again. And I've never been happier. But I ordered this the other day. I actually ordered it through Instagram and I had a really nice experience. And then this side is a nice navy with a little bit of sparkle. We're going to run that along the lash line. So I'm not going to add anything to it. I'm just going to lightly tap it. Just to smudge it a smidge. Smudging a smidge. Isn't that nice? Okay, that's fun. So I'm just applying some mascara, any mascara, because I'm going to be wearing my falsies. But while I'm doing this, I am going to tell y'all that I am going to hop off and film about concealer, because I've been getting a couple questions about why concealer might be turning gray underneath the eye. I have done videos on that before, but I feel like my lighting is just very clear and very true these days, so I want to refilm that. Plus I do have the new phone, so I want to refilm that because you can really see it. So I will hop off, but we're going to do foundation, lashes. We're going to finish everything. I just want to film that video. Let me finish this. I get excited and I get ahead of myself. Well, look at this little half lash number. These are from Melt Cosmetics and they're in the style Johnny. I'm just gonna clamp them on to my natural lashes. I have glue on, of course. And then I'm gonna separate these front ones so they look a little bit better and blend with it. This is a mighty floofy corner lash. I like it, but I need a lash comb. This one's from Japanesque, and I'm just fluffing up my front lashes. There you go, that already made such a difference. Nice. Fun. Okay, I just got something downstairs. I was alerted by my very scary guard dog, Douglas. Let me run downstairs and see what it is. Fun fact, I actually never let the things that brands send me pile up. I go open them immediately because I get so excited. I love makeup. Be right back. Honestly, I just need to stretch my legs for a second. Be right back. I'm already back. My under eyes feel a little extra dry today. I did my retinol yesterday. My Shani Darden retinol, actually. That one's mentioned in my skincare highlights, which is on my saved highlights if you want to check that out. Love it. Been using that one. I don't even know how many I've purchased now. I think I've purchased one every 6 or 7 months since it released. Love it. Right now I'm using my Elemis oil, and I'm just going to put a little bit underneath my eye here. Nice. Retinol. She's a cruel mistress. It works so wonderfully, but then I do get dry. If I didn't use retinol, I would say my skin would be balanced, but y'all can just rest assured that if I didn't do all my lotions and potions with my retinol, I would be a credustal. And that's what I call the animals, little credustals. Okay, listen, I see these all over TikTok. And by see them all over, I think I've seen them twice. To be honest, y'all aren't gonna believe me, but I hardly ever scroll TikTok, only because I am always filming. So they're from Say Beauty. And we have Warm Glow and Star Glow. I don't know which one we want to put on, but I know everybody wears this. Let's see, that one's lighter, so that's Star Glow. And I don't want to say it's not a shimmer. I don't want y'all to think we're putting on a shimmer, but we're gonna try it out. Okay, I think we'll go with this one. It's a little bit more peachy. You can see the difference. I like the warmth this one's giving. Let's see what happens here. I'm just gonna put another pump on the back of my hand. And I'm going to grab it on an angle care brush from Anissa Beauty. Reminds me of MAC Strobe Cream. Very light. Now, to be honest, on myself, I don't see that much of a difference. I feel like this side looks almost just as glowy, and that's just my skin prep. but if you have a hard time getting glow, I feel like it'd be really nice. It's giving the texture that I really enjoy, that very grippy. Listen, that sound usually pairs nicely with makeup, because makeup just goes. Sometimes I wish I could describe things better, but I feel like that's how I would understand it. This is what y'all are getting. You know what I'm not getting? Any more of this stuff. I can't open it. There we go. I do think 1 pump per side though, because that went all on my face. So, I'm not going to tell y'all to run out and get this because I don't know if it has any skincare benefits, and that's one of the reasons I prefer my skin prep and my primer to be skincare, because I'm getting that makeup prime that I need and want, plus I'm getting the benefits. This does feel nice, but let me go see if it has any skincare benefits. It's not doing enough for me. Now, I just went and checked. It does have some skincare benefits. We like that. That is wonderful. That's all we have to go check. So this is nice. We'll see how it wears. Obviously, I like to try things at least 3 times, but I wanted to make sure that we had all that information. I like it. That's nice. Okay, moving on. Now, this foundation is just a smidge too yellow. I'm talking just a hair, but we can fix that. This one's from Yenza, and I remember absolutely loving this formula. And what you're seeing there, see the difference as it dries down, it does become a little bit more peachy, and before it's a lot more yellow. So we have to wait for it to dry down. And also, once I add my red bronzer and that blush that we're going to apply in a little while, it's going to turn out the way we need it to turn out. But if you have a little bit more of a yellow undertone than me, this foundation is beautiful. It is just so beautiful. If you have textured skin, it's just so creamy and it just goes over those areas so smoothly. And you can see it is starting to match a lot better. And the reason why is because it's getting... So what is happening here is you might still see it a little bit yellow, but you'll notice it's not as yellow as it was. And the reason why is because this isn't a full coverage foundation. And what you're seeing is my actual undertone peeking through. And sometimes that can be enough to kind of correct the foundation. Sometimes, if we're not doing a full coverage foundation, it just kind of peeks through and it kind of helps and adjusts. But if we're going full coverage, we're going to need a perfect match. And I want to always encourage you to try to understand your undertone. And I have lots of videos on that, and I plan on making more videos this year. And I always want that. But sometimes we have things that maybe we didn't take back, and we just want to fix them. And we don't want to waste them. So just keep this in mind. So this is important if you're new here. We like to take the smallest amount on an E29. And the reason we use the E29 is because the fluffier the brush, the more diffused that product is going to be. And diffused means light, very light coverage. Just think extremely light coverage. Fluffier the brush, the lighter the coverage. So I'm going to start by taking that foundation between my brows and on the side of my brows here. Now with what's left, I really don't want to change the undertone of the blue. I absolutely love it. But what we needed to do was really clean up in here. That's going to make a difference. And then we're going to take it there. And then I'm lightly going to take a little bit just across here. I'm telling you, there is the smallest amount on here. Any more and we'll cover this up. But right now we just want to melt. I'm just keeping my hair out of the way. Even the tiniest little hair is going to aggravate me. Now, let me hop off and film my concealer video. I'm going to do a series because I feel like the series just kind of helped me make sure I cover everything. If I try to cover everything in 60 seconds, I just feel like it's not enough. So it'll probably be about a 3-part series, but it's going to be helpful. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I had to wipe this off because this was my demonstration eye. So I'm using the e.l.f. Peach Corrector. And I'm using quite a bit of it because I have to correct a concealer, which you'll see later. I'm excited for this series. It's a little bit different than why your concealer might be creasing. It's more of just finding your perfect under eye shade or fixing it. So that's where we're going with this series. So this is the concealer that I use. This one would be so much lighter than my skin tone if I didn't have that corrector underneath. And then I'm gonna blend it out with my C31. And you'll see more of the blending in the video I just filmed. And I'll explain more there. Givenchy powder and the setting puff. Spicy little number here. And then let's set the center. There should be enough on here to set. Yes. And I'm just ever so lightly setting. I'm just using whatever's left on the puff. So I want to use these again from Milani. I really liked it. Only thing I'm not loving is that there's no way to close it. But it did blend out really beautifully. And I've only set the center of my face. And I've used these before, so I know how they go on. Isn't this pretty bronzer? See how nicely that blended? I do love these for the price. Just wish that they closed. And some of y'all might be tame enough to have it like this. Maybe it does close. Maybe it does, but then see, it just gets so messy that I don't even want to touch it. But I will say that I store it upright, so I'm not having any issues. But the color and formula is beautiful. I feel like it does close now that I look at it. Well, I'm not doing it. Not going there. This is satisfying to watch blend. It honestly blends absolutely beautifully. And this isn't me contouring, by the way. This is too warm for me to actually contour. But what you are seeing me do is just kind of complete this warmth to where it flows down into my chest here. And if you feel like you've went overboard with that, because that one can get a little overboard, just take your foundation brush and just press over. Perfect. Fantastic. I'm going to finish doing this because it's really nice to watch it blend. I think Milani did a fantastic job with this formula. That's nice. Jean likes it. These noises. This cat and his noises. Noise, noise, noise. It's from the Grinch. So let's finish up our eye here. We're gonna grab the dark navy side, and that's gonna go right here. And then we'll do it through here. This is so much fun. It's tiny little details like this that just really make everything fantastic. Notice we left the center open. Now we're gonna smudge it. Whatever's on our E27 should be enough. Nice. I didn't pick up any more product. And while I'm doing this eyeliner has not set yet. So we shouldn't have any fallout because that liner is still tacky. And it'll want to grab the tiniest amount of whatever's left on here. So we should be good with that. Now we can use this side and we're going to bring that out of the lash line. I love it so much. That's so pretty. So I'm going to do the blush last since it is going to be the ad. But in the meantime, I want y'all to go get this set from ColourPop because all three of these colors and this formula, I cannot stop using them. And I feel like if I'm enjoying them, y'all will enjoy them. And I also like how they leave a little bit of a stain once they fade because you still have that color on your lips. I haven't found anything I dislike about this formula and this little set, so go get it. So I want to add a little bit of definition to the lip, but I want it to be cooler definition, so I grabbed Endless Cacao from Makeup Forever. Isn't this so pretty? I even love the way it makes my lips look. The lipstick, it's nice. I'm a ventriloquist these days. Ever since I started doing the glitter lips, remember when I was doing those? I got really, really good at talking and doing lipstick. So this is definitely not the first time you've seen me talk about the Valentino Beauty Eye to Cheek, but I do want you to notice something. You'll notice that I use a lot of different blushes. You're gonna notice that I don't really use them around the eye area. A lot of these pink and red pigments, they're not eye safe. And that's why I gravitate towards this one. I feel like draping is just very in right now. And with this formula, you can absolutely drape because it can go near the eye area. I'm gonna take it in there just a little bit. And this is my favorite color. I'm gonna link it for you. This is the one that I mean, come on now. I've used it a time or two. I'm gonna do 2 more taps. Look how pretty that is. And look how pretty it is with the lipstick. I love these so much. I also want to mention that this is probably one of the smoothest blush formulas I have ever used. And just look at how pretty adding that little bit of the blush on this outer part of the shadow is. It's wonderful. Let's build it up a little bit more on this side. I don't even know how long I've been using these. This one and I want to say 05 are my absolute favorites. Look how pretty. Let's do this side. 1, 2. And I do want to give you a little tip on how I like to do my blush. So what I'm doing here is I'm always mindful of how much I'm picking up. And that's why you saw me count 1, 2. I'm not going to go back in yet because I want to tap this a little bit more. I'm going to tap it into my brow as well. So smooth every single time. Now let's just take whatever's left in the brush, and I like to take it across here because that's where the sun would naturally hit me, and a little bit across my nose, and then a little bit across the chin. And I just feel I've said this before many times, out of all of the blush formulas that I use, this one on me, it just looks like I'm glowing from within, and it never adds texture. It's just so beautiful. So again, here's that link. Go ahead and shop that. And thank you so much, Valentino Beauty, for partnering with me today. I love y'all. Okay, on and let's continue the tutorial. Now that is going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for letting me express my creative side. These looks help me grow. That way I can help you more. And I feel like there were a lot of good tips today that really translate themselves to all different types of makeup and all different parts of our makeup journey. So I am able to help y'all when I do these looks. Who's ready for Valentine's Day looks? Are we ready? Because I'm ready. I want to do an all pink look. I'm talking pink eyeshadow, draping. I was going to use this blush again. I love this. I feel like this is the perfect Valentine's Day pinky goodness. And then pink lips, and I even want to do some draping underneath here and have it connect. I have so many fun ideas. Of course, we'll do our very classic looks. I love it. I love makeup. Now, I love y'all so much. I'm actually going to hop off and film with these. This is also going to be a series. I can't speak. I'm too excited. I figured I could try this somewhere on this eye look, and I want to apply it to my lips as well. But I'm going to post the video, but I want y'all to know that I personally, and most working makeup artists, they would not put this on the eye and then put this on the lip and then put it back. So I will be using it directly on my eye with the wand, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to apply it to my lips with the wand. What I'm going to do, since this is an eye to lip product, I'm going to put it on the back of my hand or just directly on my brush, and we'll apply it on my lips with a brush because that can be washed. So I sometimes I feel led to tell y'all stuff like that. I want to make sure that we're not. I love y'all so much. I'm excited to post this new series, and I still have the other series. That other series is still going. I just want to always mix it up. All right. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all in the comments tonight.